So hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're looking at some granites. So all granite has a provenance, or a place where it comes from, and this is the Kowloon granite from Tong, and it's classed as an equigranular granite. So all the crystals, the main ones you see are probably hornblende. You can see the actual quartz there, it's like a clear, probably a greyish colour. Then you got white to pinkish feldspars. So there are two types of feldspars in these. There's the plagioclase, which is sodium calcium. It's probably more the wider areas, and you have the orthoclase. So or in this case, it's usually microcline, because it has been altered from orthoclase. So that's only what I've read, and it's more the pinkish colour. And if you look around here, you have a large crystal of biotite. Some people can be very noisy, so that does look like it is a biotite, and the biotite is in this type of rock. It is a brownish colour to a blackish colour, so it's actually dark. Looks like we have some altered rock here, so it's probably weathered, probably iron oxide. Iron oxide has been found in this type of rock, but I'm not too sure what type of iron oxide. It doesn't really say in any of the reports, and you can see that the crystals are quite large. So here's the pen. So these crystals are about 3 or 4 millimeters in diameter. This one's actually quite large, so that could be classed as phenocryst in the actual rock. So where this was actually taken would have been the actual edge of the granite, because on the top of it we have the Mount Davis tuffite, or tuff rock. I'm just looking at, okay, so we had the coarse ash crystal tuff, intercalated tufaceous siltstone sandstone. So it's tuff that's also been eroded into a sandstone and siltstone, but that was on top. So a lot of these crystals are finer, so indicating that the granite actually cooled a lot quicker. Because if you go towards the center of the actual exposure, it has larger phenocryst or inequigranular actual granite. So here's just a simplified map. This is supposed to be Kowloon Peninsula, Hong Kong Island, and this, where the granite is exposed, is roughly in a circular fashion around here, indicating this is probably, that's just my guesswork, this could be part of the actual caldera, so the volcano is probably centrally on top, and where the roof of the actual granite is preserved and it has exposed over the top. So there is some over here where I've got this rock, and there's also other ones over here, and well, I've written that down somewhere. Tate's Cairns, close roof of intrusion. So that's the actual roof of intrusion. There's also another roof there, although I'm not too sure. This is supposed to be Cretaceous in age, so about 142 million years old. The Mount Davis is pretty much the same age, and it's probably just placed on top of it before erosion, so they're both in contact. I need to find out if the actual granite was, or the material on top of the granite was eroded before the tuff was placed from a different location. So anyway, this is an interesting rock. Yeah, you can get these from the beachfront. It's quite common, and you can see we also have hornblende, but we also have avon. So we can also find allanite, which calcium, cesium, lanthanum, and we have apatite, so it's excess calcium, zircon, and also you got zircons which have been replaced by other rare earth elements, porphyritic, fine grain, and there's also titanite, so titanium. So generally the composition of this rock is about 71 to 78% silicon oxide. Then you've got aluminium oxides, 13-15%, calcium, okay, 1 to 2% calcium, and 3 to 5% sodium. So the actual feldspars, 4 to 6% potassium. So a lot of the feldspars is probably the orthoclase, and in the plagioclase is probably the albite is more common than the Avarock. So if we go down here, we've got orthoclase, which is potassium, it's also microcline. The sodium is albite, and the calcium is amphenite. So it's probably more like albite and the actual microcline. They're the two more common type of feldspars in this type of rock. Anyway, let me know what you think about Hong Kong geology. I think it's quite interesting, and also thank you very much. Have an awesome time learning geology. Thank you and goodbye.